Hello, my name is Maxim, and this is video number 8 on using a history feature in Darkline overview. So we're gonna go back to this HTTP handler that we had in our first example, and if you remember, we actually called it multiple times, but we can call it again. So again, if you just open it, it just says hello world, and it's interesting, it says hello world John. Oh yeah, we have a John here for some reason. So as I open this, you see there's this dots appearing on the left. So what these dots are is actually one of the unique features of Dark, is that all your code all the executions that we ever did of these functions, actually not all of them, I think it's only 50, but for now they're all, and they're going to change this in the future versions as far as the team said. They all recorded here in these small dots. So the small dots allow you to see what happened exactly and how did each part of the request, for example, or each one of your variable mutated, or which state it became when it went through this specific request. So if we go to the previous request, for example, so this is John. So this doesn't have a name, if you notice. So this one doesn't have a name, and then the name is null here. So we can even go, this was 6 days ago when we recorded the first video, and we can still see what it was at the time. So it is kind of like a debugger which records all the values and allows you to go back in time. But here's the most interesting thing about this I found is that, let's say you have this request which for some reason failed. So for example, when the query parameter is 0, it doesn't fail here, but maybe query parameter becomes null. And what we want to do is we actually want to make sure that it doesn't fail. So let's say this is null for now, but let's say we didn't handle null at all. So we, for example, don't have this if. Let's see if I can actually remove this. Sometimes it can be more difficult than it looks. Okay, and then I guess I'll just remove the whole thing. I think I'm supposed to remove everything first. Yes, so okay. So let's say we're not handling a name properly. Now I'm typing a new code, right? So I'm not actually typing any, so we're just saying hello plus name. I can actually look at what happens here, and especially if I put plus, it says, hey, plus was called with the wrong type. So we actually would have an exception on this specific case. It wouldn't actually work. So we can see how the new code, which we just changed, would execute if we would run it with the old parameters. And you can easily switch between those parameters by pressing Alt. Oh yeah, Alt doesn't work anymore. Okay, it used to be Alt, and oops, it used to be Alt, and it doesn't. I think the shortcut has been discontinued for now. So maybe it will come back at some point. With Alt, we used to be able to move around. As you can see, it even indicates to us that this is now not working. So we can actually quickly see, and this one is not working too. So we can kind of go through and see which ones failed and which ones didn't. So this one's passed, but this one didn't. So we can see that, hey, we made these new changes to the code, but actually these 10 cases that we did of a real production execution, it's not some fake, it's not tests even, it's like, it's real calls from your production customers. They wouldn't work anymore with the code changes that you've made. And they work the same way with, like, if you make any changes to the functions or anything like this, you can see, okay, what is the error here, and then we can fix it. We can say, okay, so what happens if, I was talking to the team and they said there is a quick trick you can do here to not do this if statement is, if we use dictionary and we use get from there, because request.queryparams is just a dictionary, a dictionary essentially, we can try to get a name from it. And for now it does the error rail, but if we take this off rail then it gives us nothing, and then when it gives us nothing, as you remember, we can do the match. So we can quickly just do the match here and say, okay, match on the name, and when it's nothing, then we return hello world without the name, and when it is just, which is whatever the name is, we can say hello and add the name there. And now this whole match is going to turn into hello world. So you will notice that actually all of the, so this red one, see if this red one works. This is just John. Oh yeah, see, so it didn't work. So it helps me to see this is a perfectly valid error I made here, is because I need to use value to extract it. And now when we have our plus plus, we see it's hello John. So it's kind of almost if you can create tests from the real customer calls. That's what the history feature is, and it's really, really handy to be able to see and change things on the fly without rerunning, without asking someone to run a test. You can just change it on the fly, like even add like HTTP calls and things like this, and make those calls and see what they are with the parameters that once customer passed and everything broke, instead of creating a test for this. In the future, I know they've already talked about this. They will allow you to convert this to unit test, which you can then run automatically. But for now, this is quite like I find for my cases, it's more than enough for you to be able to see all of this, and the amount of time that you save on diagnostics is like incredible, because I haven't, like I called it once, like I do one call like this one, and then that's it. I write down my code, I figure out, okay, like if I do this call, this call, this call, and it shows me quickly, because it evaluates everything, and instantly you can also see, okay, did this work or not. So yeah, this is, I think this thing is, this feature in particular will practically change the way you develop backend services, because unlike front-end applications, you cannot see anything. So quite often with the backend, you're kind of stuck in this, okay, let me put a console log here, especially when you have production issues. You kind of need to go there in the dark and try to figure out, okay, what is going on. With this thing, you don't need to do anymore. Yeah, so in the next video, we're going to look at another quite cool feature I find in Dark is async workload. So when you have something that you want to run in the background, they have a facility for this provided by the Dark Lang infrastructure, and we're going to look at this in the next video. Thank you for watching.